Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about 10 things I love about my car. I know previously I stated 5 things, but today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that I love because I've got more reasons to love my car than to hate it. So without further ado, I'm going to list 10 things that I love about my car. Before I start this video, I just want to say that I don't know if you guys are aware, but I do have my own clothing company. This is one of the designs that I've recently released. It's a jumper. It's got the katakana characters that's just developed in katakana characters, and I made this logo. So if you're interested, the link will be up here or down in the description below. If you're interested, I've got a bunch of designs on the website, and if you like the look of them, make sure to drop an order, help your brother out. And so yeah, with that being said, let's jump straight into the video. The first thing I love about my car is the power, and if you guys remember, that was the first thing that I didn't like about my car as well. But today I'm going to be saying why I like the power of the car. These cars are very light, as mentioned before, they're like go-karts. Mine's running about 176 brake horsepower. And sorry if I sound like shit, I'm a little ill, so I've got a blocked nose, so hopefully you guys can understand what's coming out my mouth because it's just all blocked up, and yeah, I'm feeling a bit shit. So anyway, yeah, so the power is 176 brake horsepower. It's plenty enough to drive around town, drive around the city, and just to have a little bit of fun on the dual carriageway. I like racing my friends. I know I don't have the fastest car out there, but it's just something to, you know, it's fun to drive. 176 through the front wheels of the car is plenty enough, so I would like a bit more power. Maybe run the Supercharger pulley, but yeah, I'm happy with the power. That's the first thing I love with it. You can rag it around without having to worry about anything breaking. Everyone seems to think that these cars are unreliable, but I've had no issues. The only issues I've ever had with my car was probably the oil leak, but again, that wasn't really major because that was just an O-ring in the oil filter cap, so it wasn't a big problem. I've had no gearbox issues, no clutch problems. It's all running sweet, so that's why I love the power of this car, because it's just fun to drive. The second thing I love about my car is the way that it handles. Then again, that goes par on par with the power of the car because it's like a go-kart. Everyone knows that when you drive a Mini, it's very nimble, it's very agile. They're very underpowered, but again, they're very lightweight for what they are. And the power, it sort of goes hand to hand with each other. And if you've ever driven a Mini, you know what I'm talking about. Minis are great, fun to drive. So if you want to buy a Mini, loads of people have messaged me on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and stuff saying that, oh, I've inspired them to buy a Mini. And for the people that watch and have bought a Mini through watching my YouTube channel, I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your Mini so far. But yeah, that's the second one. I love the way the car handles, especially when it's all set up right. If I could sort of set up my coilovers to a better setup, I probably could, because I literally just installed the BC coilovers without adjusting the dampeners and all that stuff, because it's 30-way adjustability, the BC coilovers. But I reckon if I raised it a little bit, put some decent tyres on the car, then maybe it would handle a lot better. But as it sits right now, I love the way my car handles. It's a little bit stiff, but it's stiff enough for me to handle. I know it might be a little bit stiff for other people, but for me it's just right. So it gets a big thumbs up for me. I love my Mini and I love the way it handles. My third point that I love about my car is this is like a sort of Marmite. People might love it, people might hate it. Personally, I like the interior of these cars because it's different. So if you've ever been in a Mini, you have the big speedometer right in slap bang in the middle. And for some people, they don't like that, but I like it because it's different. It's aesthetically pleasing to my eye. You've also got a little speedo on the, just pass in front of your steering wheel, and I like that because you can have the speedo there, your mileage, your range, everything that you need to be driving. Obviously, you're not too focused on the speedo as such, so that's why I like the interior. Yeah, everyone knows the Mini interiors are very different because of that very, very iconic sort of massive piece of circle right over the center of the dash. So that's my third point. The fourth thing I like about the Mini, again, is the size. I'm not a very tall guy, I'm like 5'4", and I make this car look absolutely massive. So yeah, I'm 5'4", this is how I look when I stand next to the car. Yeah, I'm not a very tall guy, so the reason why I like the size of the Mini, because you can park it in small bays when you're doing a parallel park. You don't have to worry about the front swinging in or the back swinging in. It's a very, very small car, and in England, we don't have a lot of like, the roads in England aren't very big compared to like America and all that stuff, so the spaces is very limited. So having a small car, it's very practical, it's easy to park. You don't have to worry about nudging anyone on behind you because there's literally no boot and there's not a lot of engine bay, so it's all very compact, so that I like the way, that's what I like about it.
Bruh.
What are you doing?
Bruh.
Yeah, so the size gets another thumbs up from me. I like small cars. I can't really picture me in like something like an M4 or a Toyota Chaser or something, a big car, I don't know. I'd like one, I'd like a big car, but at the moment I like small cars. I like the size of small cars. My fifth point that I love about my car, again it goes hand to hand with everything I've been talking about, is the shape. I think, so this is the R53 model. I like the shape of it because I've got a side profile that I'll put a shot of here right now. So I like the shape of these Minis because they're not too curvy, they're not too box type. I don't like the old shape, the R50s, because they don't have the bonnet scoop because they're not supercharged. Mine's got the supercharged, and I like the way, I just like the curvature, the shapes, and I don't know, I just can't explain it. Just the roundness of the back. I don't, from my point of view, from here, I just like the way the back end sort of curves and then drops down, and then the front is the distinctive Mini eyes headlights, and then the scoop in the front. Don't look at my splitter, that's a bit battered right now, but maybe replace that soon, I don't know. The best angle I like is the side profile. Every time I take a picture of the side profile, I'm just like, bruh. I just love it to bits. I just like looking at my car. And then the back end, I just like how it's lowered and it's squatted. Maybe it's because it's been lowered. You know, lowering cars helps it look better in my eyes. Like I said in the other video, if you slam any car, then it just makes it look 10 times better. The R56s, they're alright looking, but then as you go up in the new generations, they get too big. Minis aren't Minis anymore. They like become like, I don't know, they look too big. You can't really call a big Countryman a Mini anymore. That's in my opinion anyway. It might not be the best shape in your eyes, but yeah, for me, this is my video and this is my car, so hands down, 100%, this is the best shape. The sixth point that I love about my car is the supercharger. So the difference between a supercharger and a turbocharger, they're both forced induction, but the supercharger is pulley driven, so it's belt driven through the crankshaft. That's how you get your boost, so it's pretty much on tap. So when you put your foot on the accelerator, it's a linear power band, so the harder you press the accelerator, the faster you go. So I don't know if I'm going to do this right that way or that way, whichever way you think. I'm thinking it's that way, so yeah. So when you put the foot down on the accelerator, the more pressure you put on it, the faster you go, so it's going to be a linear power delivery, whereas a turbocharger is exhaust driven, so you've got a bit of lag or a boost threshold. I don't know which one it is, guys. I'm pretty convinced that the boost lag is actually called the boost threshold, but correct me if I'm wrong. Those are the two differences, and I like the supercharger because of the linear power delivery. If you've never ever driven a supercharger, I highly recommend you getting in behind one of these cars or getting behind another supercharged car, because it's just another experience. And if you know about superchargers, they've got that distinctive whine and that turbochargers don't have. Sadly, I can't hear my supercharger whine anymore because of my exhaust setup. It's too loud, so I can't hear that whine. I can sort of hear it if I take off the cabin filter inside. I did that a few times, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But that's my sixth point. I love the supercharger. I love the way it delivers the power. Yeah, it's good fun. Now the seventh point, and as I am reviewing a stance car, I'm going to be talking about my fitment. I love the fitment of my car. I know there's a bit of an arch gap here, but on my coilovers, that's the max drop. I can't go any lower, so if I want to go any lower, I'm gonna have to buy air suspension or get smaller springs. But again, that's later down the line. I don't know when I'm going to do that. The rear fitment, I love the rear fitment on my car. It's pretty much ET perfect. It's just the right fitment. It's still not low enough in the back, but the fitment between the tyre and the wing arch, it's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's sexual sometimes to see. That's what I mean. Every time I see someone driving my car, it's just nice to look at, but I never get to see that often enough. Sometimes I let my girlfriend drive my car, I let my friends drive my car, and then every time I see them, I'm just like, it's so nice. Sorry if you're seeing this estate van wall driving past. I think it's a learner learning to drive, so ignore that. They've been lapping this industrial estate for the past like 10 minutes now, so ignore that. But yeah, I love the fitment of my car. I love the way it sits, but hopefully next year I'll go for a completely different setup. I don't know, but fingers crossed. But yeah, as it sits now, I love the fitment of my car. The 8th thing, am I right? Is this the 8th thing? Yeah, this is the 8th thing that I love about my car, and it's the exhaust. I'll try and find a few exhaust clips of my car driving by, but it's really, really loud. Put the specs up here, so I've got a Miltech cutback system, non-resonated, and that's coupled with Janspeed decat. It's going to be pretty loud to a certain extent. I don't want to go straight through because then you sort of lose the tone of the R53s, and then it starts becoming a bit raspy, and I don't want that. So I watched loads of videos before buying this car. I searched videos of exhaust setups. I thought the Miltech cutback non-resonated and the Janspeed decat was the best sort of combination, and that's what I went for. So if you guys like the sound of my car, then remember to hit the thumbs up on this video, and yeah, I'll keep making sound clips for you guys because the sound never gets old, and I love making noises driving around. I don't know if that's just me, but I love making the pops and bangs and revs, and yeah, making a fool out of myself, but it's all in the fun. I love driving, you know, it's just fun making noises, and people break their necks and they're like, what was that? And then they turn around, it's like a Mini. And so I remember the other day when we went to Players after the show, me and the gang went to London, and driving through London, the sound just echoes through, like bounces off the buildings, and it's just like, whoo, yeah, I'm making that noises. But yeah, you know, just car stuff. The 9th thing that I love about my car is the headliner. Not a lot of people see the headliner. It's on the roof headliner. Loads of people ask me on my Instagram and my YouTube, asking like, well, how I've done it, where I bought the thing from. So the headliner it's like an Indian tapestry mandala design that I bought on eBay. I'll try and find the link down in the description below, and you can check it out. It's on eBay. It's fairly cheap. You can pick one up for like less than a tenner. So if you excuse me, if you're interested in changing your headliner, then do that. I'm not going to do a tutorial because it's fairly simple. All you have to do is remove like the wind visors, the headlight, the dome lights, it's everything that's attached to the roof liner you have to remove. Then you have to remove the bead post. You actually have to remove the back panels as well. It's a very long-winded job, but if you want to change your headliner, that's what you have to do. I recommend doing it with some friends because I tried to do it solo and it was taking too long, and it's just a bit awkward trying to put everything back by yourself. So I recommend doing it with some mates. So that's my 9th thing. I love the roof headliner, but mine's lost a bit of colour now. Oh my god, I'm struggling to talk now, my throat's killing. If you get the chance to ever see my car in person, make sure to look up and look at my headliner because it always turns some eyes, and whenever people see it, like, oh, I like that, it's different. So yeah, I like being different. And then the final thing that I love about my car all the time. I know this is not my daily anymore. I drive a Citroen C1. I'm gonna say it out there, I'm not ashamed of it. I drive my girlfriend's car, a Citroen C1 as my daily, so this is just my weekend toy now. 10th thing is, yes, miles per gallon, so it puts a smile on my face every time I get in it. I always like to just drive around in it, really. I don't drive it during the weekday, so whenever I drive in the weekend, it puts a smile on my face. I just like the way it handles, the way the power is delivered. I like the attention that it gets, not necessarily attention that I get, but the attention the car gets. It always breaks some necks, the pops and bangs, the boost, the supercharger noise, the exhaust, just everything about it. It just puts a smile on my face, and that's what cars are about, guys. If you love cars, I know it's a very expensive thing, but there's always going to be problems later down the line. But at the end of the day, if it's one of your hobbies, then it should put a smile on your face, and that's what matters the most. It's how it's going to make you feel internally, and how it's going to make you feel as a person, and if you're happy, and all that good stuff. So I hope I didn't stretch this video too long, because yeah, I did 10 things instead of 5 things, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is my part 2 of the video series, I guess. So leave a comment down below about the things that you love about your car. Put down what car you drive, what you like about it, and just, yeah, interact in the comments below, guys. Make sure to give this video a massive like, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, and chase your dreams.